Okay. It ain't let me go live on none of those right now. Um, okay, so I guess it's
Here, maybe. I know you're gonna dig this.
Well, for the second to one, they get the man trapped in front and taken out. And second and 2, handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a little room, lots of room, and he's off to the races.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just the Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and co-host Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting Murray E. Baskerville from Be Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports talk for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
Here, maybe. I know you're gonna dig this.
Welcome everybody to another episode of In the Zone Sports Talk Radio by way of Just Us Sports Talk. Your host K Dix and my man Mo. Keep prayers out there for Dana because he's taking care of his father right now, so he'll be away for a little while. He'll be away for a little while, so just keep Dana in prayer. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I want to apologize. For some reason, Facebook put me in Facebook jail. Trust and believe me, I ain't do nothing wrong. Only thing I was trying to do was delete people off the page that had nothing to do with sports. I don't know why I got blocked for doing that, but that's wow. So if you want to watch the show, check us out on the YouTube channel. Just put in Kevin L. Dixon in the Zone Sports Talk Radio. You can find us there as well. It's just amazing what Facebook does to people, man. And this is the first time this ever happened to me. And I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you know how it is. So when you're admin of a page, I'm getting all these naked women. I'll be honest with you guys, what happened? All these naked women coming on just a sports page, and then I'm getting a lot of Pakistanis and those type of people on the In the Zone page. So I'm basically deleting them out of there because I don't want to add them to the page because they have nothing to do with sports. That's what I was trying to do. That's what I thought I was doing, but apparently I did something wrong. Somebody might have reported me. And only thing I just said was nudity is not. If you read the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio rules, as well as Just Us Talk Radio rules, nudity is not allowed on the page. We're all about sports, and that's about it. So, yeah, check us out on the YouTube channel. I know right from what I can see right now, Just Us is not airing it, but I think it is on In the Zone Sports Talk Radio page as well. So if you got that page, check that one out as well. I see we got one viewer is not doing In the Zone either, Mo.
No, it's not on there either.
Okay. Well, I see it. Okay. I'm sorry. It didn't. It blocked. It blocked In the Zone and it blocked Just Us page right now, but it's on the YouTube channel. So guys, if you get a chance, please check us out there as well. If you want to call in 512-543-4662, we can host up to maybe 10 people on a live feed, which is not a problem. But if you do call in, make sure that don't talk over each other, and everybody will get an opportunity to speak on what's going on in the world of sports today. So where do we want to start? We'll start in the
Russell
NBA.
Wilson going to the Steelers.
We want to talk about Russell Wilson going to Atlanta Falcons. Do we want to talk about that? Um, as we all know, Russell Wilson seems to be getting cut today from the Denver Broncos. Man, that's a $54 million hit they're gonna take. That's crazy money right there. Um, and let's talk about this for a minute. Let's go back and look at why we think Denver did what Denver did. And I can point my finger to one person and one person only, and I'm surprised he's still around. His name is John Elway. He constructed this crazy mess right now because they couldn't get Aaron Rodgers, right? They went after Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson wasn't the key to the city because you had an offensive coordinator who never called plays become the head coach, and they thought that was going to work. So they gave Russell Wilson the key. They gave Russell Wilson the key to the city, and they took it back last year. The coach came and said, "Give me the key back to the city, and now you're gonna drive an electric car. You don't have the keys and nothing else no more. When you go somewhere, you gotta ring a bell. We're gonna have somebody come open the door and allow you to come in, because now the head coach of the Denver Broncos got the key to the city, and he's showing Russell Wilson the way out of the city. Now, I believe, in my opinion, that it wasn't the coach that want him to leave, because he's gonna be cap struck for a long time, right? So the problem here is that $54 million for the next 2 years, or I think it's 2 years. He's guaranteed 54 up front now, but he still gets some on the back end as well. Um, but then I think that if he signs with somebody, then part of that contract becomes their part of their contract. But the word we're hearing right now is that the Atlanta Falcons are the head front runners for Russell Wilson. I don't want Russell going there. I want Russell to go to Pittsburgh. I want to be able to pound him twice a year. That's what I want to do. I don't want him going to Atlanta. I think Atlanta got a good coach in Raheem Morris, and I think they need somebody better, not better suited for that team, but like Justin Fields. That's what I want to see. I want to see Justin Fields go to Atlanta. I'm getting up in age now, and I'm feeling sorry for some teams, because before, if you wasn't a Browns fan or a Rams fan, I ain't give a doggone who you was. I wouldn't care who you was. If you played for Penn State and you went to Pittsburgh and if you didn't go to the Rams or the Browns, I didn't care about you at that point because you was an enemy. Now I'm getting a little soft in my old age, and I'm caring about the Atlanta Falcons now. I'm caring about the Oakland Raiders. I'm not. I still don't care about Pittsburgh or Dallas, but it is what it is. So Mo is I'm saying Kirk Cousins coming to rescue for I think Kirk Cousins, God forbid this happens, but he might end up back in Washington. I don't think so.
That'd be hilarious, right?
Yeah, but where's he gonna go? Nobody's gonna pay him the money he wants right now. Nobody. Minnesota's not gonna pay it. Pittsburgh's not gonna pay it.
It'd be funny if Minnesota gets Justin Fields.
Oh, that was mentioned today about Justin Fields going to Minnesota. If Minnesota allows it to happen, then if Chicago allows Minnesota to get Justin, if Chicago sends him to Minnesota, they're asking for trouble.
Price per year.
Because if Chicago needs 2 games to get in the playoffs, they're gonna lose every time Justin Fields plays against them. For the disrespect. For the disrespect, totally disrespect that man's gonna get. I'm right now, I don't even know what's going on with Chicago. There was rumors that he's going to be traded soon. And I'm gonna say that if I'm Chicago at this point in time, if Washington wants the number 1, I'll flip Washington for the number 1 and get some more draft picks. I still keep that number 2 pick. But the rumors now is that Caleb Williams doesn't want to go to Washington. He's from that area. He doesn't want to go there. He doesn't want to go to Washington. Can you blame him? You got a new head coach, got a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, and you know what they have right now is not what they're gonna have in 4 years. They're gonna have to flip it, rub it, roll it around, put it in some dough, and see how it turns out. I don't know. It is what it is, guys. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
need to buy the
Caleb,
bag.
he's going. Caleb gonna have to figure something out. You know what I'm saying? If I'm Caleb, but this is what I'm doing. I'm calling Chicago. I'm like, look, okay, this is this. If in my world, this is what I want. If you're gonna keep Justin Fields, trade me to a team that really needs a quarterback. And you can get whatever you try to get whatever you want from him, but just trade me to a team that really needs a quarterback. I would draft him and then I would trade him. That's exactly what I would do because that way he definitely know where he's going. But he doesn't want to go to Washington. That he made that known, and now he's talking about his contract, what type of contract he want. And Caleb Williams, I'm gonna say this to you, bro. Be silent doing all of this information right now. Everything you're not gonna throw into the pro day, and that's when Chicago's basically gonna make up their mind about what they're gonna do with him or not. So, Caleb, do me a favor, bro. Stay quiet, stay humble, and just do what you gotta do. All right, my man. The quarterback from Washington, they said, "Yo, he in the combines, he put himself. He went from a second rounder to a first rounder, from what I'm hearing." And they said he has Julius Irving
Michael
hands.
Penix.
Big, he got these big hands. Yeah, Michael Penix.
Yeah.
They say he got big hands too. Um, I
Yep.
don't know, man. I mean, they saying he needs to work on the footwork, and that can be easily fixed. The footwork can easily be fixed. You know what I'm saying? It's all about training, repetition, and everything. But sometimes you go back to what you know best, and that's with any NFL quarterback. I mean, that's with any player. They go back to what it got them there. Sometimes around to get them where they need to go. Speaking of Penix, um, Matthew, what are you hearing about him? I didn't see it at all of the combine. I just saw a couple of dudes run. I saw my man run that 4.22, and I saw him run that 4.25. And I think he could have ran a 4 flat if he'd have took his hair and put it in with a rubber band behind it. Mo,
He ran a 4.21. Actually, we updated it, so he has the official best time ever at
so
the early combine.
so his three. So what was it 3 times? Was it 4.22, 4.25, and
I said
4.21?
4.22 after it became official was 4.21.
4.21. Oh, okay. But I'm telling you right now, if he took his hair, balled in the back, and put a rubber band behind that thing, he could have ran a 4 flat easily. Easily. Guy jumped up on the map. So Matthew, what you hearing about your boy from Washington, that quarterback out there?
So after he had a outstanding combine weekend, surprisingly, he was being talked all day. Like once they got done with Group 1 of wide receivers and QBs, the last 4 hours of the NFL Network, the only thing they talked about was Penix and Adoomsday. And they were and I was watching his throwovers and all. Dude's got a hand and a good body that looks more healthy than what it did 2 months ago. And currently, there's a lot of options on the table, and those teams are chatting about them. And that might be the reason why Denver released Russell. They might get someone in free agency, not big, but someone that could potentially train Michael Penix because they might want to pick him up. And then on top of that, you might see Chicago might even want him potentially. Like it's kind of weird how you think about it because a few weeks ago you couldn't tell me Michael Penix was going to go in the playoff based off the playoff performance, but based off the combine performance now, all these NFL scouts and owners are like, wait a minute, we might want to have him in that first round or trade up to pick him up because we don't know what he's worthy of until see him on that combine.
I'm just looking at the draft right now. I'm looking at And Jaden, this is the weirdest thing though. Jaden Daniels won the Heisman, and nobody's really talking about him at all. He's like in the cut, chill.
He actually didn't get mentioned at all this past weekend.
You see what I'm saying? Not at all. His name never was brought up. Drake May's name was. I heard his name several times. I heard more about J.J. McCarthy than I heard about anybody else, which is weird because everybody thinking that he could be the next Tom Brady, coming to the NFL. But just looking at the teams, okay, you got Chicago, Washington, New England, and you got Atlanta at number 4. I mean, you got Arizona number 4. Could they get another quarterback? I don't think so. Chargers not doing it. New
Yeah, I can give you what Chicago could do.
Go ahead with it.
Because this was mentioned throughout the NFL draft after they did Caleb Williams' interview at the combine. And the Bears are potentially, what they might do is they're going to do what the Chargers did with Eli Manning. And what they're going to do is they're going to draft him, they're going to trade him, but then once they're done trading him, they're going to trade Fields to get multiple first-round picks.
Okay. And that makes sense. We got somebody from Winston-Salem on. Is that Curry?
Yes.
All right, Curry. How you doing this afternoon or this evening?
Hey, good. Hope everybody's good.
All right. That's a good scenario there, Matthew. With the quarterback situation. They had Michael Penix going to the Vikings at number 11. Oh, man. Oh, man, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really hard. Wow. I think this draft starts at number 1, where everybody thought it's gonna start at number 3. I think it starts at number 1 because of all the scenarios that the Chicago Bears have. And hopefully they got some brain trust up there that can make this thing work out for the Bears going forward. Because we know they're gonna get a new stadium. They're probably gonna get an indoor stadium. So as far as the weather's gonna be concerning for the quarterbacks coming through next year, coming through in the future, or the players coming through the future, they gonna know they gotta deal with the climate, getting to practice and getting home for practice. But as far as them playing, they'll be in a warm climate area going forward. And I'm just gonna say I'm baffled right now from what I thought we talked about last week about the Bears and what they might do with that draft pick. In Atlanta's the key. They're at number 8, right? And they're looking at a guy by the name of Dallas Turner, edge rusher from Alabama. That may change their mind because I think they released one of the quarterbacks today. And I know that Matthew just said that there's a good possibility that Minnesota. I'm gonna say this, I don't know if the Browns gonna be able to keep Flacco because they said Denzel Ward restructured his contract. They're talking to Nick Chubb to restructure his contract, and they're gonna talk to Deshaun Watson to restructure his contract too, to try to keep him. But if he doesn't be kept, if he doesn't stay there, then I think he goes to one of those. I think he goes to one of those teams if they draft a quarterback. If they do it right, he's their quarterback this year. And then next year you bring in that rookie quarterback. Even though they're sitting a year, they're learning the system. It may not be the same scenario that we get with the Green Bay Packers, but I think it's good in a sense that he gets the opportunity to sit and learn behind a quality quarterback, barring any injuries to whoever's in Denver, who's ever in Minnesota. And the thing about Minnesota is you guys got to remember that Justin Jefferson's getting ready to sign a new contract. They cut the running back Madison. They didn't cut both the leading rushers the last 2 years. They cut him to give Jefferson some money So you gotta think that Minnesota's gonna bring in a veteran quarterback, maybe. You would think they would be for Justin, so he has an opportunity to shine. That's to me, Minnesota, Chicago, and Atlanta are the three teams that people need to keep an eye on going forward in the draft, free agency. Chicago got plenty of money. I don't know where Minnesota or I think Atlanta's in that category of having some money too, but I don't know where Minnesota is money wise as far as their cap.
I got a question on that.
Go ahead, Kurt.
Hey, you say that you think Minnesota may bring in a veteran quarterback. I guess my question would be, what veteran quarterback out there you think is better than what they got now?
Well, the thing about it is that
that's going to be available.
But the thing about it is, I don't think you can get like I don't know if Baker Mayfield is guaranteed in Tampa because they just signed Michael Evans to a nice little contract. They want Baker Mayfield to take a pay cut, and he's like, no, I'm not taking a pay cut. Look at my play. My play on the field deserves to be paid what I should be paid. So he's out there. You have Joe Flacco out there. You have still got Kirk Cousins out there. You got Russell Wilson out there. So that's why I'm looking at Minnesota as maybe a possibility for maybe even Russell could go to Minnesota. To me, I think that's the best fit of all because what I'm hearing from Pittsburgh is that they still want your boy to be the man out there. They're not looking to bring in another quarterback. Mo.
But I still don't see where any of those quarterbacks you named are any better than what they have out there already, seriously.
They're not saying that they're better. They're just saying that they're not going to pay Cousins what he wants to be paid.
Yeah, it's not it's not being better, it's the money. Because Cousins
they didn't get anywhere with
it. So now the market value is right around $50 million for quarterbacks. Would you be willing to give Kirk Cousins, who just came off Achilles injury, a new contract with $50 million plus to lead your team next year? I don't know if you want to put that kind of money in his hand. You know what I'm saying? That's the key. I'm not saying that there's no quarterbacks better than him, but you can probably get a quarterback that's cheaper than him. That's what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? You get my point?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I just don't feel like that they're going to move the needle by bringing in either one of those guys.
Well,
they're trying to.
The thing about it is, but I think though, if you look at it, they're probably looking for a bridge right now to carry over. Again, they're probably if they draft another quarterback, he's going to probably sit for maybe let's say they bring in Russell Wilson. He doesn't get hurt that often, so Russell can get him 2 more good years, right? They have a quarterback behind him, and then when he's ready to take over, he's had that experience to be on the team. So now he might be ready. He might be what as we want to call love ready. You know what I'm saying? To take over the job in Minnesota. But I don't think that Minnesota's looking to say, okay, well, we're gonna be world beaters right now in our division. I would say, and honestly, I would say you got Green Bay and then you got them right there because Minnesota still has a great defense that can keep them in games. So that's a key. That's one of the keys as a if I'm a free agent quarterback, I'm coming to you as I'm coming to Russell Wilson. Look, you don't have to do a lot. Just play your game. Our defense will help you out. Okay. And let's make this happen. Now they did cut, like I said, they did cut their running back. They didn't say if they're gonna bring it back at a lower cost or not, but he did get cut. So that's an issue for Minnesota. But I think that to me, I mean, other than Pittsburgh, I think that'd be a perfect place for Russell Wilson. He's playing indoors. Okay. The weather's not going to be that bad. You got Green Bay and you got Chicago. I didn't look at their schedule, what division they play, but you got 2 games that could be cold weather games unless you play them early in the season at their home at their home field. Now you ain't got to worry about no cold weather, because Green Bay and Chicago cold ain't Seattle cold. Seattle just a wet cold, but out there that's a bitter cold, So that's one reason why I kind of think that there's a possibility that he could maybe end up going to Minnesota. And I didn't think about that until we started talking. Anybody got a comment or thoughts or where they think how this thing gonna pan out?
Think it could
Go
be.
ahead, Mo.
It could be. Also, we got to put Jacoby Brissett in there too. Jacoby Brissett was a good backup. He could be a good bridge quarterback. So I'm just thinking that that's another option for Minnesota. I'm thinking he's also another option for a backup in like Carolina to give him some stability um, behind the dude that was drafted from Alabama last year. So I think Jacoby Brissett is one of the most underrated quarterbacks, and he should have stayed in Cleveland. Yeah, would have had a better quarterback room if he had stayed there.
I think somebody. I think somebody. I think somebody has already. It was somebody they was talking about New England going to New England. I think it was it New England that he might.
He was drafted
That
by
he
New
might be
England.
the. Yeah, but I think New England even. I think it was New England that said that they would like to have him back as a quarterback. I forgot about Brissett out there. So that whole thing that's gonna be real iffy how this thing goes. Moving on to Mo brought up a touchy topic that we're gonna talk about right now. And it's real touchy in a sense, but it all comes to play if you think about this. So Mo had brought up a comment about comparing the NFL draft to slavery. And if you guys think about this thing, it's kind of comparison. Because if you think about this, when black people were slaves, the first thing they needed to find out is if old John Henry could carry a cow with one hand and a pig on the other hand, and as long as he got his 2 square meals, he's gonna be the guy that's gonna cut the grass and mow the lawn and shovel this and shovel that. They wanted the
And he had all his teeth.
big guy. And he had all his teeth.
That takes me out.
And and so, and if you think about how they do the NFL draft, how they poke, probe, tape measure you, it's kind of the same thing. But
And what do they call? What do they call the people that run the teams? I can't say the word. You know what I'm talking about.
They call them owners. But they're supposed
And
to be
this was
changing
not
it
brought
to.
up by me. This was brought up by a female friend of mine on Facebook. I've thought it before.
And the thing about it is they're supposed to be changing their name. All the owners on all sports are supposed to be changing their name to CEOs and not owners, because they own the rights to the name of the team, but they don't own you as a player, right? You're under a contract, but they don't own you. They don't own you as owning you. So I know that's been up in the air about them changing the name to CEO, which I think will probably fit a little bit better than being called an owner. But if you really sit back and look at it, there's a lot of comparisons to what of how a slave was selected and how football players are being selected. Modern day slavery. You're absolutely right. Any comments on that,
Slaves
Mo?
making a lot of money.
Slaves making a lot of money though.
Yeah, they are.
I ain't gonna relate it to
She
brought it up because it's a great connection. When you talk about the way you put them, they are on the block. But at the same time, when you go and make 35 million guaranteed to be the number 1 draft pick, I'll be a first round slave if that's what you want me to do. If I'm gonna make $35 million, you're already a slave to everything that you do in life. You're a slave to your family. You're a slave to your name. You are a slave to everything that you hold crucial to you. I hate the name slave, but slavery really means that you are in it for the rest of your life. I'm not a slave to marriage. That's slavery. But I'm a slavery to my kids because I'm always going to and I ain't getting paid for that. Slavery always has had a negative connotation, and it always will.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there's nothing. I'm not saying that slavery is bad. I'm just thinking about when you talk about music, slave to the rhythm. You talk about different things about being a slave. I'm just saying that it's not. It ain't that bad in the NFL when you getting paid to do
Yeah, I agree with that when you get paid.
it.
Hey, before
Generational
we go,
wealth.
yeah, absolutely. I just want somebody in my generation to get some of that wealth too. Before we go on, man, make sure you guys send out a prayer to Chris Mortensen's family. He passed away today or yesterday. He's one of the guys, NFL analyst that was out there doing this thing for a long, long time. I remember him when I was younger, growing up on ESPN. He had throat cancer. So make sure you say a prayer. Also, co-worker of mine, Miss Vivian Mulligan, her father is not doing well. Keep that family in your prayers. Her dad was the basketball coach for York High for many, many years in York City. So if anybody out there from York that's listening to the show, if you see her, give her a hug. I saw her today. She didn't look really good. She was, you can see this is taking a toll right now on her and her family, and so just keep them in prayer um, when they going through this transition with her father. Next up, man. All right, whew, man. Everybody out here know I don't like LeBron James on the basketball court, but I love him off the basketball court. I love him off the basketball court. Everything he does outside off the basketball court is wonderful for people of color. Um, he's helping create people for generational wealth, as Mo had just talked about earlier. So I gotta give him props on that. In the city of Akron, he's helping uneducated mothers and fathers go back to high school, get a diploma, then go into college and get a college degree. And now they're making $40,000, $50,000. Some even going probably get the masters, making six figures, moving out of the neighborhood they were in. So they're showing their kids a different way of life. Because if you never know what it is to have a three-bedroom house with two bathrooms. If you never know, if you never saw it, you can't visualize it. You can't look at it and say, that's what I want to be. That's what I want to have when I grow up. I want to have a house with two bathrooms, um, two-car garage, fireplace, a small pool, picnic table, area in my house. If you never saw it, sometimes if you don't visualize, you can't make it in reality. And he's making that reality for a lot of people in the city of Akron. But I don't like him on a basketball court. He is one player I would never want to see in Boston Celtic green. Never ever. But I gotta say this. The disrespect that he's getting behind scoring 40,000 points is unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. This man has pretty much dedicated his last 20 years to having almost a perfect body to play basketball. He gives you 100% when he's on the court all the time. You can't. I don't doubt that at all. And I'm not saying he's an entertainer. He's a basketball player, you know. And he gives you 100% on the floor. If he's on the floor, he gives you 100%. You know what I'm saying? Um, is winning a championship that important to him right now? I don't know. I think he's on the downside of his career, so he's looking at making money to buy him a basketball team in Vegas, which I think him and Shaq is gonna be fighting over to have or own. But I have saw a post where they compared LeBron James' 40,000 points to Tom Brady's 89,000 passing yards. How can you compare both of these to each other? There's no way they can be compared. And the conversation I had with the person was somebody always want to take the joy away from LeBron James. I mean, I even said congratulations on the page. I didn't post anything because I know my cousin was gonna post something about LeBron James, and I don't want to take his shine away. I want him to have his fun. But then he did after he posted, inboxed me, told me, he said, "Yo, Boston's the real deal right now, because I said, yeah, they definitely are a real deal. We're gonna talk about them in a little bit. But the thing about it is that 40,000 points, nobody scored those but LeBron James. Did he get assists? Did he get passes thrown to him? Yes. Go ahead, Mo.
I just want to point out one thing on that. LeBron James has more points than Larry Bird
And Magic
and
Johnson
Magic
combined.
Johnson combined. That was the craziest stat I've ever heard.
20 years? No.
And so, but now the thing about it is, what I would argue about is like, okay, the 3-point shot wasn't prevalent during that time period that Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, those guys were in the NBA. The 3-pointer now is prevalent. That's you run your offense off the 3-point line, but that's a different argument for a different day. We can bring it up next show. But to tell me that what Tom Brady did is greater than what LeBron James did, it has no comparisons. So you take Tom Brady, and this is and Mo.
The records are reversed though. Tom Brady 6-3. LeBron should be 3-6. If it wasn't for Ray Allen.
Okay.
Actually, Tom is 7-3. I'm sorry. And LeBron is like 4-6.
Okay.
I'm sorry. There's no comparison.
He want to bring it up, but this is
where
I
can't stand Brady. I hate
But
Brady and LeBron the same.
Well, they both in the same boat with me, but I got to go with LeBron on this one. But this is where I say that the NFL need to change the rule to a catch ball. If I throw you the ball in 2 yards and you run 98, you don't get those 98 yards, because what did you do? You ain't do nothing but just throw me the ball for 2 yards. I made everything else happen.
You keep with
everything
this tired argument. You have seen so many guys that throw the ball behind the running back that they got to turn around and they get 1 yard. He made running back stars. He made little white dudes playing slot wide receivers.
I don't care. But this is why
Miami made him a star.
But this is why the 89,000 yards is false. It's false. It's false. Because he threw the ball.
Away all LeBron's assists.
You can take away assists, but he still got to make the basket. He scored 40. He scored 40,000 points, right? Somebody, let's say, okay, so let me give you for example. Kyrie comes down, throwing the ball at the top of the key, right? He takes 2 or 3 dribbles. It's not an assist no more, because LeBron took 2 or 3 dribbles, so everything's on him. It's not on. That's not even assist for him. That's not even assist for Kyrie, because LeBron had dribbled 2 or 3 times. So my whole thing is this right here. Tom Brady got 89,000 yards passing. But how many times did them guys get the ball 10, 15 yards down and create stuff for themselves to score a touchdown or to get a first down? That's why this is
Randy Moss.
I don't know.
I think he threw 52 that year. Randy Moss had like 24.
Go ahead, Tom.
So, what if that would have been Kobe?
That did what?
That scored the 40K.
I would say the same thing. I would have said the same. And Kobe, I have more respect for Kobe than I have LeBron.
I hated Kobe commercials.
Brady is the GOAT under pressure.
Yeah, he brought a Super Bowl. I'm sorry. That's one guy I will not down. I cannot down Tom Brady. He did it in his first year in Tampa.
But my thing is, if you look at what he did in Tampa, he had a much better team. He had a much better team in Tampa than he ever had in New England. he brought players to Tampa with him, right? Players signed less money to go to Tampa to win a Super Bowl. That same team he had the year after they won the Super Bowl, what did they do after that? They didn't win no more Super Bowls.
Yeah, because his wife was trying to mess with him.
Oh man, stop it! No, that's
Hey
not.
man,
That
hey
was the year
man,
after.
hey man,
That was the year after.
marriage
That was the
problems
year
suck, bro.
It probably do. It probably do. But my thing is though,
Hell yeah.
my problem is this right here.
That we agree upon, Tom. That we agree upon. Finally, we got something we agree upon.
But my thing is LeBron, 40,000 points, right? He's gonna probably play another year. Somebody said, yeah, divorce, that divorce really. Who? Taz D. I don't know who that is. But again, how do you take the shine from LeBron when he's shining and put Tom Brady in the same category as him? If you want to go to titles, that's a whole different story. But we're going stat for stat. So stats get you in the Hall of Fame, which we know Tom Brady is first time ballot, LeBron the first time ballot. But look what LeBron has done from the time he got in the NBA to right now. This guy has never that we know of had any marital issues. Now, there was a time when he was on Twitter or whatever, and his wife said, look, it's playoff time. You need to get off of that. And he got off of it. Now, I'm not saying the man's perfect. I don't know, what might come out later on down the line or whatever the case may be, but as right now, he's a perfect father, perfect husband. He takes his money and invested into his body so that he could play the game that he loved the best of his ability. When LeBron leaves, we're going to be mad because we're not going to see another LeBron James. The closest thing to LeBron James right now is my man Ant-Man. To me, he's the closest thing to him in the NBA right
now. Who's that?
Anthony, up in Minnesota. Anthony
Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. Yeah. I think he's the closest thing to LeBron James right now. He has the moxie. And that Minnesota is his team now. Cat said that it's his team. You know what I'm saying? He could be the next face. To me, he could be the next face. He could be the next face of the NBA. But my whole
instead of being the next.
Go ahead.
Jordan be the next LeBron.
Well, I mean, he has similarity. To me, he has similarities of Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a better shooter than LeBron. I think he's a better shooter than Jordan. I don't know if he's a better shooter than Kobe. You know what I'm saying? No. I don't think he's a better shooter than Kobe. I think that's something that he still needs to work on. But I think now defensively he's behind Jordan a little bit defensively. But I think he could be the face of the NBA. But getting back to the Tom Brady and LeBron thing again.
Did you see Wembanyama?
Who?
Wembanyama.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this. The NBA would never allow a foreigner to be the face of the NBA.
It's either gonna be Wembanyama. You know they wanted to be Luka.
I'm telling you right now. It's not. They're not going to be Luka. I know they do, but it's not going to happen because you know why? Luka looks like the Michelin Man when his uniform's off. He ain't got a muscle in his body.
Do you think they care about that? What's the one thing he got? What's the one thing he got?
Yo, Mo, it's not. I'm telling you, Mo, it's not going to happen.
It is going to happen, bro. I ain't trying to be racist, but because he is white.
Neither am I.
They want a white dude. They want a white figure.
Look, I'm telling you, I'm not trying to be racist either, and I'm not even talking about race. I'm gonna talk about he's an international player. They're not going to allow an international player to take over. I'm telling you that right now.
Is it more countries in the U.S. or outside of the U.S.?
It's more countries outside the U.S. But let me say this to you. The NBA was found in the United States. They're not going to allow a person outside the United States to be the face of the NBA.
Was it? Wait a minute. You said the NBA was starting, not basketball.
They're already the basketball. But they're already pissed because international players are more fundamentally sound than the guys in the NBA. I mean, the guys in the United States, they're more fundamentally sound when it comes to basketball, right? Would anybody disagree with me on that?
Nope.
Because you got general managers saying now with the players in college, yo, when I get them, I gotta teach them how to do this. I teach them how to do that. I got them. This is stuff they should already know going to NBA. But what happens here is you have players now, they one and done coming to NBA because they want that money. So they thought the NIL was going to help them settle them down and say, no, we're going to keep you in. You're going to stay here for a little while. You're going to stay here for a little while, and we're going to develop what you're going to do. Nah, they're running. If they're not making over $1 million in NIL, they're running to the NBA. And at the point now, with the NBA is telling them, okay, you come up to Chicago, work out. You ain't ready. Go back to college, right? Now you got to go back and redo your NIL deal because now you're back in college, right? It's too many sneakers and snags for players from college to get to the NBA going forward. But you look at Wiambe. Dude's what, 7'3".
Here's a fun fact.
Go ahead, Matthew.
So not only NIL in college, but in some states, almost half of the states, there's high school NIL.
Oh yeah. There's a kid in my high school probably could get an NIL deal this year coming up. Dude's he's a right tackle, but he need to move to left to get that money. Dude's huge. You know, so
there's some states.
Go ahead, Matt.
Where they're recruiting you to go to that high school.
Oh, it's about to get ugly. It's about to get. Sports
It is.
Sports is about to get real ugly.
Well, and one thing too, Kev.
Yes.
That guy, he's not going to be in the league long.
Why not?
He's one injury away from career over.
Nah, I gotta disagree with you on that one. If I'm gonna tell you why.
How many big men has that happened?
Well, I'm gonna say this to you. I'm gonna tell you why it's not gonna happen to him. First of all, I was upset that he went to the Spurs because it was rigged for him to go to Spurs. But what other team would he go to that would develop him in the right way to be ready to play in the NBA but San Antonio? San Antonio is the perfect place for him to develop to be the basketball player that he needs to be. Pox is patient.
Yeah, he's not.
Say what?
They're not developing him.
Are you watching him play?
Yeah, watching him play. He plays for.
Have you watched him play?
Yeah, I watched him play.
That kid is nice, man. I don't know what you're saying, but that
he's the second face of the NBA right now.
But he's only 1 foot in. Hey.
But what you're failing to understand, they said the same thing about Tim Duncan. Look how long he lasted.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, Tim was skinny. Tim was skinny when he came to the Spurs. Tim was skinny. He was real skinny, right? The only thing that helped him out was you had David Robinson there as well. But trust and believe me, the Spurs ain't that far away. If the Spurs got some money and they draft well and they go through free agency well, that team could be a playoff team. They could be the next Oklahoma City in the West if they do it right. If they do it right, that's what they can do. Because the only thing they basically need is if they just need another point guard, they need a pure point guard to play down there with them to distribute the ball. And you got my man 7'3" that can dribble, he can pass, he plays it all. He does it all. You know what I'm saying? And so you add a pure point guard to dish the ball to him and open that floor up. they're gonna be nice.
And then when he goes down, double injury career.
I doubt that. He's not a Ben Simmons. Okay, he's not. He's not.
He got no muscle. He got no bone.
But what you're failing to realize is that you come in the NBA that way. So what you do is you help develop him into the pounds that he need to put on. And trust and believe me, he's putting pounds on right now. You just can't see it. And you're not gonna see you're not gonna see his development until probably the middle when the season's over and you see him around, you might say, oh, I can see him gaining some weight. But he's gonna gain weight in a way that is gonna help him play. I'm gonna give me for example with Ben Simmons, right? Ben Simmons goes to the Sixers. Ben Simmons gains 20 to 30 pounds within 4 months. His body can't maintain all that weight at one time. So you gradually put it on his body. That's how he fractured his foot. That's why he couldn't play. So when you come in, you're going to gain that weight. They need you to gain that weight, but it's a certain way you do it. If you look at how the Sixers went tank to get the players they need, and always there was a health issue with them. Now you look at Embiid, who's out right now because of health issues, right? Now Embiid got too much weight on him, right? But I guarantee you, if Embiid would have went to the Spurs, they'd have did it right. In my opinion, that's an organization. I'm not saying that Wemby gonna stay there, but I'm just saying that's an organization to get you right. If you're gonna go look at every player, look at DeAndre Murray, who plays for Atlanta Hawks, good player. Look at Derek White, who plays for the Celtics, good player. That's just two out of that. That's two players that come to my mind that played under the Spurs organization, got drafted, went somewhere else, and they're still playing good basketball. But I understand your point about how skinny he is. But again, it's going to take time for him to develop into the player that he needs to be. But
okay,
and I'll give you like Chad Holmgren. You saw what happened to him last year. It was a freak accident. Now look how good he played. Yo, in my opinion, he's a rookie of the year because look where Oklahoma City's sitting at right now. But he's just as thin as Wemby. But that dude's balling right now. He's balling. So, but anyway, getting back to the Brady and LeBron, I don't care what nobody says. You can't compare them at all. And I want somebody, if you're out there and you listen to the show, please try to change my mind. Because 40,000 points is a lot of points. But Kareem got 37. LeBron could play another year. If he plays next year, I don't know if he's going to average. He could average right around 20 points because he's older.
You think it's no juice?
Well, I don't think he's going to take no juice because he takes good care of his body. The one thing that could probably hurt LeBron, it would be a major injury. That he would get, but other than that, he could probably play another 2 years. I think he will probably try to play. Since the son's not coming up this year, we definitely know he's coming back next year. But they're saying nobody wants to draft his son right now, and rightly so. I mean,
that's right.
Should I draft your son for you to come play with me? I got to change my whole team around for you to come and play with me. No, I'm not doing that. Cleveland did that. You see what happened to Cleveland. Miami did. You see what happened to Miami. You know what I'm saying? So no, we're not going to change our team around just to draft your son to get you. That's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, we're moving on. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but Tony Brothers is an NBA referee. He's probably one of the most hated referees in the NBA. And I'm going to say this. When Boston plays Game 7, he referees, we don't win. When the Lakers play, when the Lakers play and he referees, they don't win. All right. I'm sorry. I should have put these up here. I didn't see him. Let's go real quick. And then he says, how about Brady is the greatest of all time? LeBron is the greatest of the era, but apples and oranges. Real quick before we move on to Tony Brothers, I'm gonna say this to you, Taz DZ. Unless you're undefeated Super Bowls, Joe Montana is still my greatest. Simple as that. He's still my greatest. And again, when you play so long, you're going to break all kind of records. Look at Peyton Manning. Look at all the records he broke because he stayed around long enough. You know what I'm saying? So when you stay around long enough, you're going to break a lot of records. You know, those individual records is all about getting to the Hall of Fame. You know, but again, we're talking about team sports. So does titles matter? Yeah, titles do matter because that's why you play a team sport. If you was a bowler or you're a golfer, play tennis or boxer, that's why I tell everybody in my top 5, my 1 and 2 is a tennis player and a boxer. 3 is a track star. 4 is who was 4? I can't remember who 4 was, but it's not a football player or basketball player. Number 5, I got a basketball player in there. 6 would probably be my top 6 will probably be a football or basketball player. But my top 4 is individuals that play tennis, that boxed, and ran track. Because there's individuals. Who's my greatest track star? Jim Thorpe. I got Serena Williams, Muhammad Ali, Jim Thorpe. Who will be my greatest football player?
You know what I'm saying? He was a football player too.
Yeah, but he went to Olympics and did both.
He's more known for being a football player than a track athlete.
No. He's more known for the track than the football player. He was known for the football until he went to the Olympics and won the pentathlon and the pentathlon and tentathlon, the decathlon, whatever you call them, 2 things. He won both of them. Yeah, decathlon. Yeah, he won both of those. So that's why he's right there. Brady is a great player, but he's not, to my opinion. If Brady wins all Super Bowls, yeah, and then he comes. Now to me, he's the greatest, but he lost some. Joe Montana didn't lose any. That's just my personal opinion. Now, everybody has their opinion. I have my opinion. But getting back to Tony Brothers, so DeAndre, how you spell his name? How you pronounce his name? The play for the Atlanta Hawks. DeJounte Murray sitting on the bench. They caught a foul or something on him. He's sitting on the bench. Tony Brother goes up to him sitting on the bench, and he tried to talk to him. He waved him off, and he teched him. Now, how in the devil can you tech? Why you walk over to the guy's bench to have a conversation with him? He don't like you. He tells you to his, yo, I don't like you. Just leave me alone, and you check him up. Now, the tech was rescinded. But, man, I guarantee you guys, if you would look at the NBA right now, there's probably been more tech stolen this year than in the last 5 to 6 years. I guarantee you. These referees, I don't know what's wrong with them, especially Tony Brothers. He must think people come to watch him. I just don't get it. How do you check a dude up? You call a timeout. You walk to the bench to talk to him. If I'm the opposite team, I'm like, why is he going to talk to him at the bench? What is he saying to him? Now I'm the opposite team. I got a problem with that because now I think you trying to tell him something without me knowing about what you're telling him. And he waves you off and you give him a tech. Now the tech got rescinded, right? But do you guys think that was overboard of him going to talk to him? Doing a timeout. Now I can see if they were in play, he goes up, Tony Brother go over and say, yo, this is the reason why, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. But as a timeout, anybody think he was right for going to talk to this man in a timeout?
Tony Brothers can kick rocks.
So my thing is, why do Tony Brothers think that he's allowed to do that kind of nonsense? And they're going to take him out because he waved him off. Man, if you don't go somewhere, sit down. Man, see this is what I'm saying. I think the referees got it twisted. I ain't never seen nobody
try to intimidate.
What'd you say, Tom?
Try to intimidate them.
He ain't intimidating nobody.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. That's what they.
Yeah, they think. But have y'all seen anybody go to a referee and say, "Can I get your autograph? Can I take a picture with you?"
They do that.
I ain't never seen it happen before in my life. I ain't
What?
never.
Autograph.
I ain't never seen a referee ask. I never seen nobody ask a referee for autograph. I'm not saying it hasn't. I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but I have never seen it.
It sure does happen. It's all.
It might happen. It might happen in basketball more than any other sport because they're so close to the fans. But I don't know if it happens. See, I don't know. I've never seen it done. Okay. Next up.
How football got the football jersey for Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, that's a different story. Yeah. That's a different story. But I'm talking about fans in the stand. Moving on. We forgot our Black History, so we're gonna do it today. I'm gonna start off and Mo gonna come behind me. And if anybody else got a Black History moment, a real Black History moment, Tom, bring it on. So my Black History moment is about the United States Army, the 54th Massachusetts Infantry Regiment, known as the most celebrated regiment of Black soldiers that fought in the Civil War and comprised of men not only from Massachusetts, but New York, Pennsylvania, other northern cities and states. Established in February, look at this, established in February 1863, Black History Month. They had approximately 1,000 soldiers. The casualties they had was 270, 109 died, and KIAs, and 161 deceased. Notable battles was Battle of Greenbelt Landing, July 16, 1863. Battle of Honey Hill, November 30th, 1864. Second Battle of Fort Wagner, July 18th, 1863. The Battle of Morgan's Mill, April 18th, 1865. The Battle of Oslatee, February 20th of 1863. The second battle for Fort Wagner, the 51st suffered roughly 42% casualties in a horrific battle against a strongly defeated Fort Wagner of 600 men. More than 280 men were killed, wounded, captured, and or missing and presumed dead. Behind them, the units from New York, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Maine, Pennsylvania pressed forward in an attempt to capitalize the assault on the 54th. Sergeant William Carney on May 23rd, 1900. Sergeant William Carney, a famed soldier of the 51st, was honored the Medal of Honor for his actions during the Battle of Fort Wagner, become the first African American in history to receive the medal. Legacy of valor. The men of the 54th were accredited with turning the tide of the war. Due to the influx of Black regiments that were mustered into service for President Abraham Lincoln following the story of the heroic actions. 54th Massachusetts. You guys don't know who 54th is? Watch the movie Glory. That kind of tells you scenario of how that thing is. I was stationed in Beaufort, South Carolina, and part of that movie was filmed down there. And I didn't realize until I saw him walk past this big white house, and that's right downtown Beaufort, South Carolina. A lot of history was made with this movie. Denzel Washington was one of the prime people in there. Morgan Freeman was really good in that. And this is the weirdest thing of it is though, I went to the movies and saw it, and I've watched it several times since then, probably 40, 50 times, and I always end up missing something. There's always something I was like, I missed that part of the movie, you know. But again, 54th is help to change the tide of the Civil War for the North. So the guys were um they made the sacrifice um to our country in order to help freedom become free, help for people of color to be free and had the freedom to go and do wherever they please. Mo, you're up, brother.
All right, so you guys know I
All
like
right,
to
so you
have a
guys know
Black
I like to
History
have a
moment that
Black
is
History
about the
moment
week
that is
that we're
about
in.
the week that
It's
we're in.
got a lot of good people to choose
Got a
from.
lot of good people to choose from.
Lapita
The
Nwongo. Oh, she
Peter
is so beautiful.
Nwongo. Oh, she is so beautiful.
Also could have chose between
The chose
the cheetah,
between the
Tyreek
Chief,
Hill. I
Fabric
could have
Hill,
chose between Booker
took a hit with a
the first man to say the N
the first
word
man
in
to
a
say the
live
N word
promotion in
on a
wrestling.
live promotion in wrestling.
Chris Webber, Big
Chris
E,
Webber, Big
Harry
E,
Belafonte.
Terry
I was
Belafonte.
just like, nah, I ain't gonna do
It's
that.
just like, nah, I
Method
ain't gonna do
Man.
that. Method Man.
It's Sunday.
It's Sunday.
Also on
Also
you
on,
know, what's that
you
called? The
know,
Fast and the
what's that called?
Furious,
Fast and
Natalie
the Furious,
Emanuel. Oh, she is
Natalie
so beautiful.
Emanuel. Oh, she's so beautiful.
Malcolm Butler can kick rocks.
Malcolm Butler can kick rocks.
Still mad that that's why New
Still
England
mad
has
that that's
six.
why New England has six.
Reggie Bush as well.
Reggie Bush as well.
Then you also got
And you also got
Jason Tatum,
Jason Tatum,
who just turned
who just
20. I'm
turned,
sorry, he just turned 20,
I'm
right?
sorry, he
Because
just
he's been
turned 20,
19 for
right?
6 years.
He's been 19 for
So,
6 years.
then we also got Grand Poobah.
We also
We
got
got.
Grand Poobah. We got
I ain't giving Draymond any credit.
I ain't
No,
giving
I'm gonna
Draymond
keep
any
going.
credit. I'm gonna keep going.
Hey, Michelle on that too.
And
He ain't got
Michelle
the
on
fake
that
foot
too.
no more
He
though.
ain't got the fake foot no more though.
All right, but the guy I went with two
All right,
guys
but the
born
guy I
on
went
March
with, two
6th.
guys born
I
on
almost
March
went with
6th.
Marcus Smart.
Almost went with Marcus Smart.
You know that's my boy.
You know
Always
that's
will
my
be.
boy. Always will be.
But I had to go with the Big Diesel.
But I had to go with the Big Diesel.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille Rashawn O'Neal is an
Shaquille
American
O'Neal
retired
is an
professional
American
basketball
retired
player
professional
who was a sports
basketball player.
analyst that you can
Was a
never
sports
understand.
analyst that you can never understand.
He was born March 6,
He was born
1972. He's
March 6,
still alive.
1972. He's still alive.
7'1",
7'1",
325 pounds.
325
Coming to the
pounds.
stage.
Come to the
Okay.
stage.
Can you dig it?
You take it.
Following assignment, LSU,
Following
O'Neal was
assignment,
drafted by the
LSU,
Orlando
O'Neal was
Magic
drafted
with
by
the
the
first
Orlando
overall
Magic.
pick in the 1992 draft. He quickly became one of the best centers in the league, winning Rookie of the Year 1992 to 1993 and leading his team to the 1995 NBA Finals. After 4 years with the Magic, O'Neal signed as a free agent with the Los Angeles Lakers. They won three consecutive championships in 2000, 2001, and 2002. That's why the Lakers, I didn't say the Los Angeles Lakers, I said the Lakers are tied with the Celtics. You couldn't keep your team in Minneapolis, so you still ain't got the same amount of titles as Boston. Remember that. Signed as a free agent with the Lakers, was traded to the Miami Heat in 2004. His fourth NBA championship followed in 2006. Midway through the 2007-2008 season, he was traded to the Phoenix Suns. After a season and a half with the Suns, O'Neal was traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 2009-2010 season. You know who he played with it that year? It don't matter because they didn't win a championship. Then he played with the Celtics 2010, 2011, where he had nothing left. He had no legs whatsoever. If he had had some legs, we would have probably won a championship that year, but he didn't. O'Neal's individual accolades include the 1999-2000 MVP, the 1992-1993 NBA Rookie of the Year, 15 All-Star Game selections, three All-Star Game MVPs, three Final MVP awards, two scoring titles, 14 All-NBA team selections, and three NBA All-Defensive team selections. He is one of only three players to win NBA MVP, All-Star Game MVP, and Finals MVP in the same year. The other two are Willis Reed and Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan did it twice, 1996 and 1998. He ranks eighth all time in points scored, sixth in field goals, 15 in rebounds, eighth in blocks, largely due to his ability to dunk the basketball. O'Neal also ranks third all time in field goal percentage at 58.2. O'Neal was elected to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 2016. He was elected to the FIBA Hall of Fame in 2017. In addition to his basketball career, O'Neal has released four rap albums. For people, I know about one. I don't know about the other three. I'm guessing because his biological didn't bother. Was That's the album I had. I don't know. I don't know if they're talking about Fushnickets. What's up, Doc? Can we rock? Okay, y'all don't remember that. Let me keep going. With his first being Shaq Diesel going platinum. He has appeared in numerous films and has starred in his own reality shows, Shaq's Big Challenge, Shaq Versus. He hosts a big podcast with Shaq. But my favorite thing about Shaq of all time is Shaq and the Fool, baby. Shaq and the Fool. That's my favorite thing of Shaq of all time. Is also the general manager of the Kings Guard Gaming of the NBA 2 League game. But the thing I love about Shaq is when he gets really into it, you really can't hear him. You can't understand him. And then he just goes into this. You want to say something? I can't hear what you're saying right now. I can't big budget. Charles. I don't love how I always finish with, you better look me up. You better Google me, Chuck. Google him. Google Shaq. Google him. Dude is awesome. Even though he was a Laker. Still like it. Always love Shaq. Shaq Diesel. A great American hero.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Tom.
So I don't know if you're watching on FX the show Shogun.
Okay.
But there is a black warrior named Yasuke. Yasuke. He was employed of one of the powerful lords in Japan of the Great Unifier during the Sengoku period. The first black samurai. Is this the current remake or the original version? No, this ain't in none of the versions. Oh. Let's look them up.
You're talking about Can You Dig It?
S-U-K-E. Okay. That's all I got.
Okay. All right.
But, I got one too.
Go ahead, Matthew.
So, you ever been in an elevator? Do you wonder how it was 150 years ago? Well, back then, elevators never had doors. So imagine going into the biggest building you've been into your life today without a door. And you can just go in and out as it's going up at fast speed, which may cause you to potentially lose your life, or even more so the fall. That all changed. And the great inventor Alexander Miles out of Pickaway County, Ohio. He was born in 1838. And, he had a wife, 2 kids. He started his first job was a barber, and they moved up to Minnesota, where he later married his wife and have 2 children. When they moved to again in Minnesota and New York, they were on an elevator time that didn't have the doors. And one of the daughters at the time accidentally fell down a shaft, which almost ended her life shortly after her birth. So what happened was the family moved down to Alabama in 1889, which at the time we considered as a lure But then immediately moved to Chicago, where he came up with the idea and presented it to people and insurance companies, where he founded the United Burr, a life insurance company, which insured people of color. And during that time, he would give some ideas, and they would have meetings about this, about how the elevators will be and how it should be safe. And when they first came out, they actually, if you go online and search up his name, Alexander Miles, for those who there's original photos with his signatures on the patent that got approved in 1887 of how the elevator doors were going to work on the active elevator. And it surprises me on how developed the safety of like buildings have been with elevators, and it all can be done if it wasn't for this person, which unfortunately he died in 1918 in Seattle. But they did introduce him into the National Inventors of Hall of Fame in 2007.
Wow. So people were taking chance. So people were taking chances to get on the elevator without no doors. So the elevator was just going up and down. People jumping in, jumping out.
Yep. That was very good.
Wow. I think I would have took the stairs. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. All right, guys, check this out. Caitlin Clark will be the next what for the WNBA? Mo.
Superstar.
Superstar.
The girl is already a superstar in college.
Matthew. Caitlin Clark will be the next what in the WNBA?
Not immediately, but down the road, she could be the next future GOAT of the WNBA.
Okay. Curry. Caitlin Clark will be the next what in the WNBA?
No, I think she'll be the next Larry Bird of the NBA.
Lou. Caitlin Clark will be the next what in the WNBA?
She's going to be the biggest superstar in the NBA history. She's going to carry that with the NBA. She's going to be on fire.
Who's that we got on the who's that? Is that
Rich?
Caitlin Clark will be the next what?
Rookie of the year. Mm-hmm.
So, guys, let me ask you guys a question. Are you more excited to watch women's basketball than you are men's basketball right now? I'll be honest with you. Only person probably on here could probably name somebody on a men's basketball team. Like, I like Georgetown, UCLA. I can't name a player on that team. Mo likes NC State. He might be able to answer that question because he's watching it right now. Curry likes North Carolina, so he might be able to watch that right. He might be able to tell you right now. But I can't name one guy in college basketball right now that's a superstar. That's a guy carrying the league like she's carrying the women's league. Curry, I gotta agree with you. I think she'd be the next. I think she's gonna be the next Larry Bird in WNBA. And to be honest with you, I think she could probably play men's basketball too because of how the game's set up now. Because every time they touch you is a foul. You know what I'm saying? So if she can shoot the ball, we saw that she can shoot the ball. But this girl is incredible, man. And I just wish she would. I wish she could go to the Connecticut Suns because that's my club, right? But she's going to Indiana Fever, and they said they're already sold out. And she's going to be a breath of fresh air for the WNBA, and I think she could be a player that will make the WNBA stand up and be noticed now. Going in the future, because you have some women, the face of the WNBA, but then they disappear when the season over because they go overseas and play basketball because they make more money. Caitlin could be that player that stops that from happening for the WNBA, because let's be real, man. WNBA girls basketball players should be making way more money than what they're making right now. And after the situation that happened to Brittany Griner being overseas, we should make it so that them young ladies don't have to go anywhere else to play basketball to make a living than the United States of America. That, to me, that right there should have been a sign for the NBA, for the commissioner, to get off his high horse and help them girls get to where they need to be. The WNBA's been around for 20 years, 25 years. You know what I'm saying? And again, I coach girls basketball. So am I a little biased? Yes, I am. I am a little biased. You know what I'm saying? Because they play the purest basketball out there, man. The love that they have for the game is 1997. The pure of the game, the way they play the game of basketball, and how pure it is with them, man, is incredible. They dribble between their legs just because they got to, not because they want to. And Mo is a little occupied watching Duke and NC State game,
no, I'm not. I'm looking at you just like we're just at one point. I'm looking at you just like basketball. Every sport is a revenue sport. If you can't generate revenue, you can't make more money.
But the NBA is not. Let me say this. Maybe WNBA's basketball is played at the wrong time of the year, because they're fighting with baseball. They're fighting with baseball. Yeah, they're fighting with baseball. They're fighting with actually football, golf, NASCAR. So again, I've always said, and I felt like this way: if they start the season in September to November, now they fight against football and a little bit of baseball. But if they start the NBA season after Thanksgiving, then it runs right. They run right into men's basketball, right? It's an indoor sport. It's played during the wintertime. It's supposed to be played during the wintertime because you couldn't play outside. Now it lasted to June. Some kind of way, it probably end up being 4th of July weekend, maybe in the near future, or whatever the case may be. But I just think maybe
the Air has TV contract.
And I just think maybe sometimes it's play. They have the Mo. I think the games are at the wrong time of the year, and that's what I'm saying.
More money overseas playing in that season, so that's why they set up this league so they can play both.
But the thing about it is, though, they don't need it. They shouldn't have to do that. After what happened to what have to happen to Brittany Griner. If I'm a father and my daughter's playing basketball overseas, I'm dreading what's going on over there.
I get it. But they're not making money here.
But that's why the NBA got it.
It's not the NBA.
But the NBA, no, they need to help them. I'm not saying for them to foot the bill.
They're subsidizing them.
But I'm not saying well, they gotta subsidize them because they're not promoting them right. They're not promoting the WNBA correctly.
Yeah.
They're not. Let's be honest. They're not. They're not.
Let's see. They have
WNBA
commercials as the other women's league.
When the All-Star game, when they do have the All-Star game, WNBA should be in all of that. They should be in every contest they have.
Yeah. They were this year. And it should be for women. It should be a woman in the. It should be a woman in the dunk contest. That's how you get the dunk contest back.
And that might be true. That might actually be true. But the thing about it is that they need to sit down and brainstorm how to make this thing better. But I think Caitlin is going to be that one that's going to bridge that gap. She's gonna be the one because now everybody's gonna want to watch her play. You know what I'm saying? Like the Fever, they're sold out. They're already sold out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they ain't had the draft yet.
The picture that's sold out too.
You know what I'm saying? They're saying the watch your play almost $700 a ticket. That's a cheap ticket. WNBA ain't gonna charge that much, but the thing about it is they're gonna generate some money for her. They're gonna generate some money because of her. So let's say if you get another Caitlin, whatever, to come through, and now if you could balance that off to 2 or 3 teams in the NBA, I mean WNBA, because right now, girl that went to the Phoenix Mercury, Candace Parker? Candace? I think she went to Phoenix, right? So they have Phoenix. They got Phoenix as the favorite to win the WNBA title. Because wherever she goes, seems like she helps win. You know what I'm saying? She's the ultimate basketball player in the WNBA. She does everything that a player needs to do to make the team better. So I just think that they need to embrace this opportunity with her and build on it to make WNBA what it is, because they're probably going to add 2 more teams into the WNBA. I honestly think that Philly needs to have a team. they need to have a team. Mo, you shaking your head, but I'm telling you,
when Philly gets a professional basketball team, then we can talk.
I'm talking about the WNBA.
I feel like here in Columbus, Ohio, they get the WNBA team. There's a good amount of people here that enjoy women's sports.
I just think that during the summertime is really hard because people go on vacations in summertime. Nobody wants to be inside on a nice day to watch basketball. You know what I'm saying? That's just that's a hard sell. They just need to figure it out, man. They need to figure out, even if you bring them in during the season of the men's games, and to say you have a city that has 2 teams, like Connecticut Sun and Boston Celtics. Like the Connecticut Suns plays at 1:00, and the Celtics turn around and play at 3. You're gonna bring fans in because the Celtics are gonna play, and then once fans start seeing, oh, these girls are really good, then you can branch off from that. But they need to figure something out, because they're gonna waste this young lady's talent moving forward.
So, courtside seat for the Indiana Fever is at $1,029 before tax.
Courtside seats.
I remember
you couldn't get them tickets away 2 years ago.
Wow. You could probably get, like 2 years ago. You could bought those seats for $100.
They was giving the tickets away to car wash. If you came and got 20 car wash, you got 2 tickets to see the Fever, and they didn't even want the tickets. Now look what's going to happen. So the revenue is going to come, Mo. You can sit there and
now hold on now.
Just like we're going to talk about ice hockey.
The first game was against Connecticut. The one against New York, it's $2,500 before tax.
Wow. So the revenue's coming. We know the Fever gonna get money, make money. We know the Fever's gonna make money because of her. All right, guys. We gotta if you watch me live, I got on Boston gear today. Because I was looking for a signature win for the Boston Celtics. They haven't had a signature win all season long because they lost to Denver at home. They lost to Lakers at home, which should have been a win. And they lost to who else did lose? A team out west, Minnesota. I think it was Minnesota they lost at home. So those are 3 losses at home. But I haven't seen. I still am not I still haven't seen them have a signature win. Now, yesterday, and this is no lie, my plans were me and my wife, we go get our and our pedicure and manicure together. You know what I'm saying? That's our bonding time. I get my feet done and my hands done. And and she says, I gotta go to Walmart to get some. I said, okay, cool. I'm looking at my watch. I said, okay, don't come on to 3:30. I'm good. So then her sister called, said, yeah, you guys want to go out to dinner? You want to go to Red Lobster? So we go to Red Lobster, and I'm sitting there. I told my brother-in-law, I said, you know, I must really love you because I'm missing the basketball game because this is the game I want to see if they truly was going to be the team that they needed to be. So my brother calls me. He says, man, he said he plays FanDuel, right? And Jason Tatum had to get 8 rebounds in order for him to get $1,400. So I looked at my phone and I saw the score was 37-22. I said, oh man, they getting with him, right? I'm thinking to myself, I said, man, you know, they playing Golden State Warriors, they're gonna make a move, Golden State gonna get back in this game, you know what I'm saying? I said, but this gotta be a signature win. So I didn't look at my phone no more until I got into my bedroom. I turned the TV on and it said halftime, but it didn't show the score. So my brother calls me. He said, man, Tatum ain't gonna get his rebounds. I said, why? He said, well, he averaged around 8 rebounds a game. He said, I need him to get, but I think he said he averaged around 8. He said, I need him to get 8 rebounds. I said, well, how many got? He said, he got 5. I said, oh, you gonna get 3 more? He said, nah, he's not gonna play no more today. I was like, what are you talking about? He said, man, we blowing him out. I said, blowing him out? He said, yeah. I said, what's the score? He said, 82-39. I said, man, stop playing with me. I said, yo, stop playing. He said, bro, I'm not playing, man. He said, I'm telling they killing them right now. I said, man, stop. So when I look at the TV and see what the score was, I said, what in the world has happened? I said, wow, look at this, look at this. This was the first game I seen them play where they didn't take the foot off the gas at all. And the reason why I think they made a statement in the first half of this game, because they lost to Golden State and it was up by 17 points and lost in overtime. They knew they should never lost that game, so they had a point to prove. You know, you had your boy Steph Curry out in Oakland putting us to sleep. I told my brother, I said, we knocked him out yesterday because he didn't even play the second half. So I kind of saw a signature win with them yesterday. Not the full game, but part of the game. And what I get upset was Draymond Green comes out and says, oh, yeah, we said we was going to let Jaylen Brown shoot the ball. The dude averaged 27 points a game. He averaged, 4 or 5 threes a game, Mo? At least 3 or 4 or 5. He had 5 in the first half, right? So and they talking about that. They wanted to be able to rebound the basketball. Boston not a good offensive rebounding team. That's why they went out and got Xavier, whoever his name is, to help him rebound offensively, because they're not a good offensive. Xavier Tillman. Yeah, because they're not a good offensive team, right? And I mean, good offensive rebound team. But the reason why they're not that good at offensive rebounds is because they shoot the ball so well that it goes in a lot of times. Nine times out of 10, it's going to go in. Yeah. So that's why they kind of suck with the rebounding on the offensive side. Defensively, it's probably in the middle, fair to the middle. But they said, yeah, this was our plan to let Jaylen shoot the ball. That's a crock. That's a crock right there. That's just an excuse. They got an old-fashioned behind the woodshed, homegrown, collard greens, fatback, cornbread, sloppy, iced tea drinking, butt whipping yesterday. So I felt like the first half was a signature game, but now they played Denver in a couple of days. That they win that game in Denver. Now I feel more comfortable with the signature game because I still haven't seen them have a signature win this year. Now they've been blowing people out, right? And what really impressed me more than anything else, and Mo may have something to say about this when I get done, is that They beat them without Porzingis. Now people they're gonna say, well, they didn't have Wiggins, they didn't have this guy, didn't have that guy. They didn't have the Draymond play. Did Draymond play against them in did Draymond play against them when they played in what's the name? He played?
I think so.
Okay. But again, we don't have Porzingis, right? And they scored 82 points in the first half. Now, you can't blame the second half. You can blame on whoever you want to blame on. But the first half, you had your stars in the game, and they got walloped. And to me, I think that set a precedence right there for what's going to happen from this point on. Now, ain't nobody. I bet nobody else sag off of Jaylen Brown. They took that piece of paper, crumbled up, and threw it in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? That's a game you don't even look at the second half, but you look at the first half. You look at what you did in the first half, and the only thing Boston did in the first half was they played better defense, and that's my key to the Celtics. If you sit and listen to me talk about the Celtics, my whole thing is I need to play defense when they need to play defense, because your offense is gonna come. You know what I'm saying? When they went on that 20-21-2 run, they got 3 or 4 turnovers that turned into 2 or 3 points. That's how you make it happen. Because the defense is
going to speak yesterday. When this game happened, everyone on Boston's team got points. And on the bench, A.M. Pritchard got 19 points, which is very impressive for someone on the bench. And looking at their bench, Boston is one of those teams. I think we can win, and you convinced me Boston can win the NBA Finals, because when you look at the NBA playoffs, it's not the starting 5. It is, but at the end of the day, it depends on how well the chemistry is on the bench.
Exactly. I totally agree with you on that one. And this game against Denver, if we win, I'm cool with it. If we lose by like 2 or 3 points, I can sit back and look at the game and I can say, okay, if we did this or we did that, then we probably would have won the game. Even when they beat us in Boston, they beat us by 2 points, and then Jason Tatum gets a technical foul for hanging on the rim, which I don't think he hung on the rim, and gave him a point. So you take that point away, and they win by 1, but that kind of changes the game around a little bit because of different scenarios of how the game is going to be played. So I'm still not convinced, and I still had the same feeling I had with the team as I had with the team in 2008. If you once you get it done, then I'll be convinced when they get to the NBA Finals. Which I think they will. And I'm gonna say this too, and then I'll leave it. I'm gonna let Mo talk, and if anybody else want to talk. The East is not as bad as everybody think they are. Okay, I just think Boston's just that good, right? But don't tell me that the West is better than the East, because I'm gonna say this to you right now. Lakers, Golden State, and who else is in that division out there? Let me see if I can pull it up. So in the West, you got Phoenix Suns, Dallas Mavericks, Golden State Warriors, and Lakers. All 4 of those teams can make it to the NBA Finals, in my opinion. In my personal opinion. They're 7, 8, 9, and 10. And the thing about it is, they don't care about the record. They just need to be able to get into the playoff. Because you have young teams like Oklahoma City, you got Minnesota, that's at the top of the league right now. You got Denver's hanging around. They're half a game out of first place, who won the title last year, right? You got the Clippers, who you got to be worried about. Then you have the Pelicans, who are young and up and coming. I think the team, to me, that's the most disappointing is Sacramento Kings, because they're 34 and 25, but they're not. I'm not convinced with them. They did well last year, and that coach got Coach of the Year, which I don't think he should have got, and I'll argue that to the end of the world. As Kyrie would say, if the world was flat, I would probably fall over. But again, I think from 1 to 10, they're all good. right? But the teams with the most experience are 7, 8, 9, and 10. So the thing about it is though, is 9, 9, and 10 is the Golden State Warriors and Los Angeles Lakers. You don't want to be in that playing game because you never know what's going to happen. So they got to fight to get out of that 9 and 10. But you got Phoenix, you got Dallas, you got 4 good teams in the 7, 8, 9, 10 spot, right? They don't care about having the best record. They just care about they just care about getting in. Mo, comment.
Yesterday was the team I've been looking for the last 5 years. They actually showed up. They actually didn't take their foot off the gas, like you said, but they also put their foot on their neck. They're just like, you ain't getting up this time. You ain't getting up. If you try to get up, we just gonna hit you harder. And it was just like, hey, I've been waiting for this team for a while. I was surprised. I'm sitting here watching the game, a little bit out of it because I was out until 5 o'clock on Saturday night. So 3:30, I'm still a little bit messed up. Too many cherry moles, people. Too many cherry moles. Today was not. It was not a PG show. I tell you, today was not that show. But anywho, what you got to realize is in that game, Jason Tatum took over the second quarter. They played like 5 minutes in the third quarter, I think, and then they were out. It was just like the super team was whipping their butts too. Curry didn't come back. Curry was a little bit hurt, but he didn't make a single 3-pointer. He went 0 for 9. I think that's the most attempts he's had in the game without making a 3-pointer because they kept hitting him off screens. They kept making sure he had to work, and they showed the blueprint to beat the Golden State Warriors because they knew it because they've been waiting for this game for 2 years. And I was mad that they had to wait for 2 years because they should have won game 7. But Tatum getting hurt in game 7 last year versus Miami in the first minute of the game, I get it. But yesterday I saw a team that was ready, and Porzingis wasn't even playing. They were ready. I think they're ready. But remember, I asked, are they overrated or underrated? I think they're a little bit overrated now because it's one game. It's one game. You still got to do it for 4. You got to win 4. That's all I got to say about that.
And to be honest with you, real quick, if we go to the panel. I don't think they're overrated. I think people still think they're underrated because they still haven't done it yet. They still have. They've always ran into a buzzsaw. Like for example, I hated watching them play Golden State because Golden State had their number. I hated watching play in Miami because Miami has their number. I think this year it don't matter if they play Miami. I don't think Miami's going to. I don't think Miami gets close to them in a 7-game series. I don't even think it goes 7 games. To be honest with you. Anybody got any comments or concerns in reference to the Boston Celtics at all?
Boston, I mean, has been just all too. And going to be, of course, number 1 in the East. And I mean, the East is not that bad. I mean, and it's going to above. It is bad for Chicago and in other words, intense, which are powerful. But still, both conferences I think are very competitive. The West is looking and so whatnot. Very
the team that actually that I'm kind of scared of in the East is New York Knicks. I think if they get healthy,
thank you.
I think if they get healthy, they're gonna be a hard out because
Yeah,
they have all the pieces. They just need to get healthy. And there's rumors that they're looking to bring in a big superstar next year. I don't know who that superstar is going to be.
yeah.
I don't see LeBron leaving $51 million on the table to go to New York. I might say it might happen after next year, but they got like 10 picks. They got 10 first-round picks between 2024 and 2030 that they can dish out. In the first picks, and I think if you don't own the first pick, and if the picks come to you from another team, you can give them back to back to back, but you can't give out your own back to back to back first round picks. So you can go every other year. So I don't see Milwaukee taking that plunge. Now I tell you what though, Donovan Mitchell could be that guy they want in New York, but that makes that backcourt really small. So I don't know about that. I know they talked about bringing about Embiid. I don't know if that'd be a good move for them as well. That's it right there. Now, Trae Young name been mentioned about going to LA, but he's kind of like put that to the side. He said, "I'm not trying to leave. I want to stay here and build something." And that's good to hear that right there. You know, somebody wants to stay. Atlanta.
Now, here's a surprise.
Go ahead, Matthew.
The two NBA teams that haven't reached 10 wins yet.
Detroit. That's Detroit in Washington.
Yes, that's correct. Now, I just did the research on ticket pricing. The Pistons at the Grizzlies on April 5th. Court side is only $188.
Wow. A WNBA game costs more to go to than the Wizards. And you know, speaking of the Wizards,
and I never thought I'd be saying that.
yeah. And you know what? Talking about the Wizards, Kyle Kuzma had an opportunity to be traded to somebody, Lakers or somewhere, and he said he didn't want to go. He said he wanted to stay for Washington. So what did you know? What makes my thing is, that says something for the coaches there in the organization. That a player like Kuzma, who could definitely put a team over the top, wants to stay in Washington. That says something right there. That says something right there for him. San Antonio got 13 wins. Portland got 17 wins. Okay. So before we go on to Mo's moment, so we have who we got on the line here? Okay. So who's a rookie of the year right now? Lou, who you got as rookie of the year for the NBA?
Victor.
Say that again. Okay. Chris, Rich, who you have?
Wemby.
Okay. Matthew, who you have?
I gotta go with Victor.
Okay. Curry, who you have?
Oh man, I haven't been really keeping up with it. I couldn't give you an honest stats on the NBA.
Yeah, you're a college guy. By the way,
actually pause.
Go ahead, Matthew.
I'm going with Chet.
Okay. By the way, yep. Matthew is going to post the bracket, NCAA bracket online. Guys, I can't post anything for 2 days. I was deleting people off the page because they had nothing to do with they invite yourself to the page and they had nothing to do with sports. So I was deleting them, and then they told me that I can't be on Facebook for 2 days. Well, I don't understand. I should want who I want on my page. You know what I'm saying? It's my page, so I should want what I want. But I don't want people on here that don't affiliate themselves with sports, and that's what it was all about. Coach Gray, we got you on the line. Who you got rookie of the year?
Well, I haven't followed a lot of the NBA this year, so I couldn't tell you who the rookies are.
Okay. Mo, who you got?
That second face of the NBA, baby. Wemby.
So I'm going with Chad.
Yeah.
I gotta go with Chad.
And they should have been. They should have been on the same team. Just think about it. They'd had Chet and Wembayama. He's there to get the number one draft pick.
Ooh, that'd have been nasty.
Yeah.
But I gotta go with Chad. So let me tell you what Oklahoma City is doing right now. They have the second best record in the NBA, 42-18. They're 24-6 at home, 18-12 on the road, 10-4 in the division. Conference is 26-14. The point differential is 0.79. They're scoring 121. The opponents is winning. The opponents are scoring 113. They have won one game in the road. They're 7-3 in the last 10. All right. San Antonio Spurs are 13-18. 29, they're 30 games out of first place, 7-21 at home, 6-27 on the road, 1-9 in the division, 8-26 in the conference, which is they're scoring 112 and their opponents are getting up 120. The opponents are getting 120 points, which is a minus of 8. They won 2 in a row and they're 3-7 in the last 10. Winning has to do something with who becomes a rookie of the year. So even though Chad, this is his second year playing,
Shay's leading that team.
do what?
Shai Gilchrist is leading that team.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be as good. They wouldn't be as good as they are without Chad. Chad he's making a difference.
Yeah.
He's making a difference. He's making a difference,
Chet.
Mo.
CHET.
He's making a difference.
He ain't Chad. He's Chet.
Chet, whatever his name is. But somebody told me that skinny people don't make the NBA, that they're never gonna last, and they're not even on the call no more. But Chet went from getting hurt last year to playing 60 games. Okay, he's averaging 30 minutes a game. He's averaging 17.2 points a game, 1.6 rebounds, 6.2 defensive rebounds.
Wait a minute. I was about to say.
Huh?
No, you said 1.6 rebounds. I was just like 7-3. How you gonna get 1.6 rebounds?
That's offensive rebounds. He's more of a defensive guy. Total rebounds, he's averaging 7.8. He averages 2.7 assists, averages 0.7 steals. He's averaging 3 blocks a game. He's turning the ball at 1.7. Personal fouls 2.5. Assists to turnover ratio is 1.6. He's averaging 7. He's leading the team in rebounding. So he got to get the rebounds and for Gillis, for Alexander to get the ball to do whatever. He had the team.
For a rookie?
He's a second year. He's a second year guy, but he's considered a rookie. Go ahead, Mo.
He's a Philadelphia rookie. They don't play their first year, then they play their second year to try and win rookie of the year. Ben Simmons won it 3 years in a row. Anywho.
Yeah.
I don't like it. 20.9 points per game.
But
33% for 33% from 3-point range. 10.2 rebounds. 3.4 assists.
But they're losing.
3.4 blocks. He was the number 1 draft pick in the league. Cat wasn't the number 1 back.
But they're losing.
That was their last year.
But they're losing.
1.3 steals.
But they're losing.
Face of the NBA next year. He might average 30 next year.
But they're losing. They're losing. They're losing.
That is the best player on his team.
But that's not my problem.
That's like a third. It's because Gilbert probably still doing.
He leads the team in points. He leads the teams in rebounds. He leads the teams in steals. He leads the teams in blocks. He don't lead the team in assists because he can't assist himself.
What are you talking about? You talking about Wembanyama?
Yeah.
Because you ain't talking about Chet.
But
you ain't talking about Chet. What does he lead his team in? Only rebounding?
Rebounding blocks. But then who else is on that team?
Chet?
You got Devin Vessel, who's averaging 19 points. You got Keldon Johnson, who's averaging 15. Zach Collins averaging.
Basically the Brooklyn Nets of the West.
Exactly. But they're not winning. So is it tanking? Because he's played 55 games. So I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know.
Embiid can win when they were terrible.
Hey, real quick, Mo. Coach Mo's on the line. Coach Gray's on the line, and I don't know he wanted to talk about this Tom Brady.
Say the moment for next time.
Okay. So, Coach Gray, we did talk about it earlier, and some people are saying that Tom Brady is the GOAT and the numbers should count. But I how I stood. I stood next to LeBron for the first time in my life ever. Can you give me your take on how you feel about this situation, why they want to tarnish what LeBron did that nobody else has ever done?
Well, first off, you have to understand, Tom Brady earned everything he has. He played in the league until he was 45 years old. Okay, you can't take that away from him. But when you take numbers, it does not. I mean, they don't really compare to each other. You're talking about 89 yards, 89,000 yards that was thrown, or how you would say it, belonged to Tom Brady. If Tom Brady threw a 1 yard pass and a receiver ran 99, how many yards did he really throw?
1 yard.
1 yard.
Mo.
What did the other guy do? He ran 99
yards. Mo.
He still had to throw the perfect pass for the guy to run 99 yards.
Every dunk was his. Every layup was his. Every 3-pointer was his. Every 2 points was his. But Tom Brady didn't even assist. That's Magic Johnson. When Magic Johnson threw the ball to Big Game James, he was calling assists. Same thing. These numbers do not. You don't compare these. It's apples and oranges here. Okay? So give Tom his roses and his accolades. But don't bring that number to LeBron. It just doesn't make any sense. He earned that 20,000 by himself.
Go ahead, Rich.
I mean, I agree with him to a degree, but it's a lot easier to score those 2 points than it is for Tom Brady to score a touchdown. Or to even get those yards, it's a little different because I have 11 dudes on the other side of the ball trying to get me as compared to 5. It's a difference in sport. I'm not diminishing what LeBron did, because 40,000 is 40,000. It ain't never been done. But, 21 years, I just, it's a lot. So both of them.
And I kind of agree with you on that there, Rich. But I'm gonna say this: once Tom Brady gets rid of the ball, nobody wants to deal with Tom Brady because now they're going after the guy that got the ball.
Right.
Well, LeBron has the ball 90% of the time in his hands. So there may be times where LeBron has 2 or 3 guys on him, and he's looking to pass the ball maybe to somebody else to shoot the ball. But then if he ends up shooting it himself, makes it just that more difficult for him making it because now you have 2 to 3 guys on top of him. I get your point, but again, when Coach Mo, when me and Coach Mo talked about this, me and Coach Greg talked about this earlier, we both was on the same sheet of music because I'm like, there's no way possible. And I've always argued this before that I feel like once the ball is caught, yards after catch, that should belong to the wide receiver, not to the quarterback.
Wide receiver.
If he throws the ball,
what happens is,
go ahead, Coach Mo.
When you take the numbers, take these numbers, right? Everyone compares the GOAT when you talk about Magic Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron. Okay, we know Kobe and Jordan would have walked in there with 40 points every night. But you mean to tell me that LeBron can't score 40 that night? He can. He's the most dominant player that ever played NBA basketball. He can do what he wants when he wants to do it. People can't do that.
And
look at this though. He averaged 10 assists a game. 10 assists. All of my threes, that's 30 points. If it's twos, it's 20 points. That's what he adds to the game. He walks with this average that Kobe would never have by the numbers. So we're not talking football. We're talking basketball. And we're talking assists. So when you talk about 40,000 points, well, how many points did he assist other players with over the years? Add those numbers up. Nobody comes close to those numbers.
And you know what though? I think only time I think when LeBron actually was not really at his peak, but I think he played his best basketball when they beat Detroit to the finals.
He's a team player.
That's when I seen the most. I seen most of him be that guy in that series against Detroit And then once he knew he could get to that point, he said, okay, well, now let me figure out how I can get everybody else involved. I still don't think, I think LeBron, when he looks back at his career, I think he's going to wish he was more dominant as a young player than what he was. I know when they played Boston, the one series.
What he said. What did he say ultimately? Coming into the league, he said it was about winning. He never said it was about the individual accolades. He said whatever it took to win. If he knew he was passing the ball to someone who had a better shot than him, he did that. It's about the win. At the end of the day, that guy is a winner. Take a look at his resume.
I totally agree with that. All right, guys, we had our 2-hour window. I appreciate you guys calling in today. I apologize for not being able to get on Facebook. I'm definitely gonna call somebody tomorrow and find out what I did wrong. I'm just saying, you know, if you have naked and you want to come on Just Us Sports Talk Radio, we ain't there to see you. You dare to get some men to holler at you. And that's not what we do on there. That's not what we do in the Zone Sports. We talk about sports. We may talk a little politics every now and then, but we talk about sports. And if you're that type of person that's going to invite yourself to my page, I'm going to delete you again. Just what happens, I got another page that I have that I just keep on the side there. Every now and then I had to check on it. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys calling in.
Both his pages gonna be on lockdown tomorrow.
We got a lot of basketball coming towards us, man. We got March Madness again. Matthew's gonna post it, all the information on the page, with the password and everything like that. And Matthew, make it as simple as possible, so that people can play.
Absolutely.
And what I'm gonna do, the winner, whoever wins, you get $100 gift card and get a shirt, long sleeve, short sleeve shirt of In the Zone Sports, or maybe a hoodie, something of that nature. If whoever wins, we can play, but if me and Mo,
now hold on,
go ahead.
If I win,
you can't win.
I want Mrs. Diggs on the show.
Oh, she ain't coming on the show.
Well, I want.
She'll listen, but she ain't gonna come on the show. Mo said Mo showing his mug that I got him for Christmas. I probably could do a mug too. I could probably do a mug. Denver fan here. Denver proud Chuck 669. Check us out next Monday from 7 to 9. We should be back on Facebook like we were usually, but I got blocked. Well, anyway, we're gonna have Sweet 64. Matthew's gonna be in charge of that. Again, if say for example, me, Mo, and Matthew and Lou are the last four left. Whoever was the last person that's not a host that's in, they're gonna win. We can't win. We just gonna be playing the way we play, and usually we'll mess it up because my favorite team is Houston right now, and I want Houston to win it all, and they're probably not gonna win it all. But that's what I'm put on my paper. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm going to do. I'm just saying. But the Nugget fan, make sure you call in next week because I'm a Celtic fan and Mo's a Celtic fan, and let's talk about that beatdown we about to give y'all in the Mile High. I'm just gonna tell you this right now.
Don't forget about Duke, Carolina this weekend.
Duke in North Carolina, and NC State. What's the
NC State?
Yeah.
Who is that?
That's who Mo likes.
You know what?
He said, "Who's that?" He said,
"We lost by 15. It was close until like 5 minutes left in the game. They blew us out.
So anyway, guys,
Carolina took care of NC State the other night.
Ooh, took care of NC State the other night. So anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all hanging in with me tonight. I will try to do better next week. I should be out of jail in 2 days, I guess.
Turn yourself in, cuz. Turn yourself in.
This just don't make any sense for me to delete people that I don't want on my page. That doesn't make sense to me. None. And all that I said was it was sexual content, and it was sexual content. The one girl that had no clothes on.
You reported yourself.
She had a shirt on. She had a bikini on with no.
We still live. We still live.
I don't care, man. I don't like that.
This was not a PG show.
I don't mess with Facebook like that, man. I don't mess with them. They gonna make me go out and get a new page or something.
Don't mess with you either.
I need to go out and get a page called Just Us. But anyway, man, I appreciate you guys, man. Y'all have a good night. God bless. Be safe out there. Everybody that was in the chat room, appreciate you guys coming through. Somebody talked about ice hockey. Justo78. Don't know nothing about ice hockey, but we could try to talk about ice hockey if you want to talk about ice hockey. Somebody used my thong for floss teeth. Wow. Who is we getting on this? Mo, you seeing this stuff right here? Man, come on. This is ridiculous, man. I guess, man, look, it is what it is. This is what happens when you go to YouTube.
You got a new captivated audience, baby.
Yeah, this is crazy.
You wear a thong next week.
You're gonna be over.
Nah, I ain't wearing that. No. But anyway, you guys take care. You guys be safe. Again, man, say a prayers for Dana and his father. Chris Mortensen family, say a prayer. Miss Vina Mulligan, say a prayer for her father as well. Anybody else out there, when you bend your knees tonight, just pray for anybody's family that may be in need of a prayer or anything like that. So with that being said, we're gonna get on out of here. Soon I can find my music. I'll tell you what, this thing that messed me all up right here. Not being able to be where I need to be when I need to be there.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by KD from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Murray be more careful, Baltimore, Maryland. We throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Make big time players, make big time games. Be ready. You have been listening to a Sports Talk Radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on Star107FM.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95 in advance for your support.